Salutations, everybody. So, today we got an interesting piece for you. So, the other day I was having an argument, and then from that argument, based on Ubisoft's performance, this came up as a really good idea for some content because I can show you how these companies flat out lie and manipulate statistics and how journalists don't really do a very good job of fact checking what companies are claiming. Now, in defense of this journalist you're going to see on screen, they might not have really known how to read a financial statement, and they just went off the initial information because as we go through the financial statement, which we're going to do, you are going to see that the information about how they've actually posted a loss is buried way, way down deep in this report. But let's go into this. Oh, and links will be in the description as always. So this right here is the main point we're going to look at. They're just repeating that they had a robust earnings of 554.8 million euros, $584.07 million, exceeded their projections of 350 million euros, and their net bookings it reached 822.4 million euros, and that was a substantial increase of 17.6% compared to the previous year. Now that's pretty good, and it's like, oh, hey, they made a bunch of money. No. So we hop over here to Ubisoft's Investor Center. If you ever want to look up a financial statement, look up a company's Investor Center because this information has to be posted publicly, and you can click on this, and it will take you to this. This is the financial report that they're talking about. As you can see here, they claim they made 836.0 million euros in sales. Net bookings were 822.4. Now, IFRS stands for International Financial Reporting Standards. It is an agreed upon accounting standards that get the most accurate and honest results. So basically, companies can't cook the books. In America, we use general accounting principles, also known as GAAP. Non-IFRS operating income. Now, when you see this, you just ignore it because just read it as bullshit or cookbooks. Because as you can see here, when you use the standards you have to use, not your own internal metrics, it goes from 16.1 million euros to 43.5 million euros. So that's pretty bad. Now, as you go through here, this is just basically them talking about how great their games were. In my opinion, kind of trying to convince the investors that, hey, we're doing really well. I thought this report was kind of unprofessional. Positive community reception. You know, when you have to say, hey, we had positive community reception, it's like, okay, what were your sales figures? And as you look through here, yeah, they're not going to mention how good their sales figures were because they weren't. And you're going to see that for a lot of stuff. Here, they talk about the cost reduction plan, which is basically they're going to be consolidating parts of the company and firing people. And this here is them talking about the acquisition of Activision Blizzard cloud streaming rights finalized, which is why their net bookings, which net bookings are deals that they have closed or are about to close that are not direct sales. And then President at Apple's keynote to announce Assassin's Creed Mirage on mobile. And as you're going to see, their mobile division doesn't do well either. So now we're finally at page 5. So let's review back here. Page 1, oh, hey, we're doing really well. Look at how much we exceeded last year. And we hop down here to page 5. Same information up there. But then we look at this. Them calculating their expenses. Once you calculate from 734.1 and then minus, because these brackets mean negatives, 400.7 million euros, 160.6 million euros, 129.3 million euros, you're going to get, for some reason, this right here is not really counted. So don't minus that from that. You'll get around that. And right here, IRF operating income, 16.1 million. So that's how much money they actually have on hand. And last year, they posted a loss of 215.3 million euros. But then basically you look down here further, but at non-IRF cash flows from operating activities, So you have even more negatives adding into this, which does reveal that they are actually losing money once you subtract this from what's left of that. Now, you don't just have to take my word for that. As you go through here, there's more statements, outlooks, and like, okay, we're done here, right? Disclaimer about Ubisoft, appendices, definitions, breakdown of geographic region. This is cool because you find out that Europe's our second largest market, tends to sit in the 30 percentile range, 30 to 40. America is always above 50. The rest of the world fluctuates as Europe rises and falls, while America remains stable. Mobile has some good quarters, but generally, which is probably around the launch of a new game, they get some really good success, get some really good sales, but then it quickly just falls off. You can really see that multiple times. And release platforms, what they sold. And now we're finally at page 11. Now, you wouldn't think that there's any more financial information in the appendices. You think you're done. This is just definitions, random information. But no. Here, they again do the breakdown of all the stuff. And then you see net income. Negative 29.9 million euros. Income tax, 20.7 million euros. Consolidated net income, how much money they made. Negative 34.4 million euros. So they're posting a loss. They're admitting right here that they're posting a loss. And you have to go into their appendices to find this. And then again here, they're just showing again that they're posting a loss. Now, as you can see in their non-IFRS methodology, they claim they made 1.6 million euros. Also important to notice, did I pass that up? Where was it? Oh yeah, it's up here. Kind of breezed over that in this take. Their debt has risen to 880.8 million euros. Down here, you'll see when I can find it that it's actually way higher than that. Give me a minute to locate that. Welcome back, time travelers. So, I found it. Tucked here at the bottom, you see their net cash position, how much debt, is 1.183 well then that's 100,000 right there, billion euros. So this company is massively in debt. As we can scroll up here, we can see their total liabilities and equity is 4.75 billion. But their total, when you minus using the International Financial Reporting Status, their net position after you take assets and liabilities is $1.18 billion in debt. So Ubisoft is not doing well. They are posting losses, and they're trying to obfuscate their losses to their investors. Now, fortunately for Ubisoft, as this is a sentiment I've long believed, that investors are some of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet Earth. Like, take Take-Two, for example. They're posting a projected $900 million loss, and somehow institutional investors think this is a good buy. You even have articles saying, oh yeah, buy Take-Two. It's like they're posting $900 million in losses. GTA 6 is projected to be delayed, and that means there's going to be a whole year where they have no way to make money, which actually might mean that, they're not going to have a delay of GTA 6. So that's 2 years worth of projected $900 million in losses. And then GTA 6 being $2 billion in development is, if it has the same sales traction as Red Dead Redemption 2, the last game they put out that has significant success, it's going to take between 2 to 4 years to recoup the development cost. So while the numbers for each year are going to look good, their net debt is not going to go down. What that means is Take-Two is a really, really bad investment because they have no means of financial security in the future. And if a financial crisis were to emerge like it is with banks like no longer lending to viable companies that they project can actually pay them back, without that ESG loans, which a lot of is now going away, which a lot of companies are now panicking, And while you're seeing them like really double down because they have to go ultra woke to catch the remaining ESG because it's now a tighter market. Or shareholder metrics. By the way, ESG is not going away. They're rebranding it shareholder metrics and they're moving it internally. So they're just going to say, oh, we don't do ESG anymore while doing ESG behind the door. Yet Take Two, they say that's a good investment. $900 million in losses, solely kept alive by short-term loans. I believe the term is zombie company, which is basically a company that is solely kept alive by short-term loans. And as you can see, Ubisoft, they're posting losses. If they're posting losses, and they've been posting losses every quarter, every year, they're posting losses, that means they don't have money coming in that exceeds their expenses. So they are being kept alive by loans too. It's a zombie company. And when these loans go away, these zombie companies die, which is why you're seeing a lot of consolidation in the gaming industry right now because, well, in my opinion, it's corporate welfare. The managerial class taking care of their own. But also on the ground floor, those who actually have the money to absorb these other companies can position themselves to reap a lot of money in the long term from a consolidated market, because then you don't have all the extra expenses of like 50 different marketing departments. You have one marketing department at Microsoft. You have one sales department at Microsoft, and they can handle everything. But there you go. Ubisoft losing money. Ubisoft's trying to hide the fact they're losing money, and journalists just not really either understanding how to read a financial report or just refusing to do their job properly. That's all there really is to say in this. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.